Hi, this is Soft Cell Video Productions, and I'm your host, John. This is episode number 155, Bathroom Layout and Laundry Room. Before you watch this, I insist you go back in my archives and watch episode number 69. What it does is it tells you how to get power to your bathroom legally and up to code, because there's been a lot of code changes that really affect the way GFI circuits are run, and it's a very good all-inclusive video. In my last episode you probably saw a little thing that said, what is a cog? Maybe I'll tell you what that is in my next episode. It totally slipped my mind, and I do apologize that when you're building a house and laying it out, you have to have an outlet in the hallway if it exceeds 10 feet, and you have to have an outlet in the stairwell no matter what. Hallways, you get an outlet, and stairwell. Now for starters, we're going to assume everything in here is GFI protected, and all other screens, we're going to assume everything is GFI protected because it has to be. This is the world's most standard bathroom layout. It's 5 feet by 7 feet. They don't seem that small, but they actually are. You got your tub and your shower, you got your receptacle, and you got your sink. Well, the first thing you want is 2 switches. They're on the inside here, but couldn't draw it like that. And then you want a service outlet, of course GFI protected, and you have a switch to a light, and then you have to have a exhaust fan. The only exception to an exhaust fan is if you have a window, and even then I strongly recommend against relying on the window to get rid of the steam, because it just don't work. So that's your first scenario. In this next scene we see a recirculating tub. Basically you have your water closet, you have 2 sinks, your lighting is probably going to want to be can lights. You must have 1 outlet per basin, okay, and you're probably going to want can lights for your electromassago, batho, whatever. And you also are probably going to be required to have an exhaust fan above it, even if you have a window. Same here, good to have an exhaust fan. So you could have like up to 4 switches. Switch, 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 switch. Alright? 1 set of switches for the exhaust fans. The other set would be for the love canal. The other would be for overall lighting. So that's another possible layout. Remember the 30-inch handicap rule. The opening to this door has to be a minimum of 30 inches. If it is not, they will fail you and make you reframe everything. Now your typical laundry room is going to have either or. First of all, it has to have a service outlet, and that's got to be GFI protected. Generally that is opposite of your washer and dryer unit. It's got to have a light, and it's got to have an exhaust fan. If it has a light, it's going to have to be a 3-way, okay? Because this is over 6 feet wide. So that's switch 3 to switch 3, right, for the light, and then 1 switch goes to the exhaust fan. Now here's where the tricky part comes in on outlets. By the way, this is the room, right? This is the garage, and then this is the house, obviously, alright? You got that? Because that's where most laundry rooms are. They're between the garage and the house. Now you can either go with if you're going with gas appliances, you can go with a 20 amp receptacle with a 2-pole breaker on this outlet for a total of 40 amps. You're going to go with a 240 volt outlet for your dryer. So you have options. You can either go with the 240 volt, you can actually go with both, which is better. But you can either go with a 240 volt all electric dryer with a 20 amp dedicated outlet for your washing machine, or if you're going to go with gas, you go with a 20 amp with a double pole breaker. Alright, and you have to have that service outlet. And if you really want to add something nice, you can have a dedicated outlet here for a fold-out iron that actually comes out of the wall where you can iron stuff, and that's kind of neat because it folds right into the wall and it can fold back out. Kind of a profile view would be, this would be the wall, this would be inside the wall, okay, and you'd have your power source coming to here, and then a little cabinet that opens up, and when it opens up, then a little ironing board swings out, and you already have the iron. There's a place to set the iron in here, and you can iron all your clothes in here. Okay, the ironing board kind of wraps up the whole thing, and it was a little bit complicated, but to really simplify things, I can just put it to you like this. In a bathroom, everything in there has to be GFI protected. If you have a hot tub, whatever, that needs a dedicated circuit, that's got to be GFI protected. You got to have access to it. For every sink or basin, you have to have an outlet. You have to have an exhaust fan for every water closet or toilet if there's not a window. If you have an additional, like jacuzzi tub, sometimes you're required to have an extra fan. It's just the way it is. You can have extra outlets for like a towel warmer, but they have to be GFI protected. Going on to the laundry room, you have to have a service outlet. Now, if you have gas, you can get away with a single double pole outlet, 20 amp. That means each outlet is its own circuit. If you don't have gas, you got to have a 240 outlet and one single dedicated 20 amp outlet. The best course of action, if you can afford it, is to have gas, have the 240 outlet, and then the double dedicated 20 amp outlet. And that pretty much sums up everything. I'd like to thank you for watching, and have a great day.